What's the deal? What's up? You're over here chilling in Berlin with me, Chad Muska. Being on the road's amazing, you know. Anytime to get out and be with this group of amazing people and bring all this energy together and get to explore new countries and find new adventure, you know, it's amazing. I can't complain, man. Could be a lot worse, you know, put it that way. I've been doing this for a long time, so it's not every single one that I'm going to be able to get on, you know. I kind of always go in a little bit of phases too, you know, where I just get super focused on one thing at a time, you know. If I'm doing that one thing, I put everything into it, you know. So it's like when I'm skateboarding, I put everything into skateboarding. If I'm designing, then I'm putting everything into designing, art, music, all these different things. I usually like take one of those projects at a time and just everything I have I put into it, so there's no room to do anything else at that time, you know. Yeah, for sure, you know, and not only financially, because, you know, I was able to make money off skateboarding and then able to buy art supplies or music equipment or other things, you know, and without skateboarding that would have never happened, you know. So everything's directly connected back to skateboarding in one aspect or another, you know, and skateboarding gave me confidence to believe in myself and believe in things that I'm capable of doing. And I had a lot of doubt from skateboarding growing up, you know, like, why are you doing that? You're never going to go anywhere with that, you know, that sucks, you know, that's for kids, you're getting older, you know, all these things that were told to me about skateboarding that like made me question myself and my decisions and am I doing the right thing in my life, you know, because they are all telling me I was doing the wrong thing and I'm thinking in my head it's right, you know. And so the fact that I proved them all wrong, it gave me the confidence to go after anything in life, you know, and that skateboarding gave me that confidence. So yeah, so it's interesting, you know. And then, you know, just the challenge of learning a trick or anything, you can apply that to anything in life. For me personally, music has always gone hand in hand with skateboarding. I mean, I feed off music, you know. All the craziest tricks that I've ever done in my life, like, I've always been rocking some song. Even if the radio's not there or my headphones or whatever, there's almost like a constant song always in my head stuck, you know. It's not the same song, but there's always a song of the moment that I'm inspired by or psyched on. And every time I'm going to do a trick, that song is going through my head, and I'm thinking about it, you know, and it's like, and that part of the song comes on, and it's like, and then you go and you do it, you know. It's like magic, kind of, you know, and that the music inspires the magic, and it just goes back to not only the drive you need to do a trick, but that's part of like our culture and our lifestyle is to bring the group of homies together, get music, the radio, a launch ramp, you know what I mean? Like, it's skateboarding culture is very much so part of music. That was a funny one. That was like back in the day, like I didn't have as much say then, you know. And actually I like NoFX and punk has always been a major part of my life growing up too, you know, like going to like all these shows, and so I've always liked punk music too, and punk and hip-hop kind of, at least the hip-hop that I liked growing up, you know, went hand in hand, you know. It's a voice of the youth and a way for them to express their frustrations and everything. So really punk rock music and hip-hop music were really similar genres of music to me, you know. But that's funny because I hadn't seen that video part in years, and I actually somehow watched it, and I got a new TV and has YouTube built into it, and if you watch one thing, it'll automatically keep playing other videos, and somehow that Maple video popped up, and I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking like, how did I end up with a NoFX track in my song? Nothing but positivity, man. Just a fun day, you know. Just, it was another magical moment where we brought a lot of cool skaters together, you know, and you bring all these different guys that may not skate all the time together, you know. I think that day was like Jeff Rowley, Jason Dill, Van England, I think. I think that was a posse. I can't remember exactly who was there, but there was like a sick posse, you know, and it was like pretty random. And I just remember I was just stoked. And we went back to Phoenix, Arizona, where like that's a lot of my roots of skateboarding were there. And so the day or whatever, that was in Phoenix. And so I was already happy to go back there too and like channel some of my original skating roots, you know. So I was just psyched that day. And it just, you never know, man. You never know. You never know, you know. When some days you think, oh, it's this, I don't feel too good, my body kind of sucks, and I'm not gonna, you know, today's not gonna be good, you know, and you go and you just get the best tricks or something, you know, and then other days you're like, all right, I'm good, I'm on point, let's go, let's do this, and just shit, kind of today was one of those days. I was pretty psyched to have nothing go down, but yeah, I still enjoyed myself though. So. I don't really believe in regret anymore because I've had certain things where I regretted in my life and they became like negative clouds a little bit. I learned how to let go of all regret, you know, and I'm a true believer that everything happens for a reason. And, you know, at the time it was kind of devastating, you know, but that led to Shorties, and Shorties was one of the most illest, you know, moments of my life, you know, so like, nah, hell no, no regrets at all, you know, it is what it was, you know, and I had a wonderful time on Toy Machine too. That was like amazing years, and skating with Jamie and Ed and Donnie Barley and Brian Anderson and Satva and Panama Dan and like, you know, Mike Maldonado, Alyssa Steamer. I mean, all those years were just so amazing too. And like, I was really bummed at the time for sure. Like at the time I was fucking like devastated, you know. It was like, it was hard, you know, like, but it was really time for a lot of us to go on our own, you know. And shortly after that it was time for Jamie to do his thing, you know, and Toy Machine was Ed's, you know, and me and Jamie are very opinionated people, and we have a lot of ideas, and we wanted to create things, and we didn't want to have our vision be altered in any way, I think, you know. And right as I was coming up, I was seeing the ability, I was watching Jamie, I was watching Ed, and I was like, wow, these are pro skaters that are actually doing it. They're running their own companies, they're creating the graphics, they're doing the advertisement layouts, and I was fascinated by that, you know, and at that's right when I was like, I need to get a computer and I need to figure this shit out because this is how it's done, and I'm watching it, you know. And going into Tumyeto and seeing a warehouse filled with skateboards and 30 employees on the phones working, you know, I was like, wow, like I couldn't believe it almost, you know what I mean? And like, so that was like a huge part of my inspiration too, to go like, yeah, like these guys, even Todd Swank, you know, he was, you know, an old pro skater, and Swank was older at the time a little more, so I couldn't relate to him as much. We were totally cool always, you know, but as an individual, I looked at him as a company owner and not a skater, where I looked as Jamie and Ed as a company skater, and Ed had been somebody I'd always looked up to, you know. Seeing Jamie as he was, you know, becoming his own entity and wanting to do these things, and how Zero started from him just writing Zero on a t-shirt, you know, and he was gonna print up, you know, I think it was just a Zero board that was like a Toy Machine graphic. I'm pretty sure, I can't, my memory's a little crazy, but I just know, but I remember, anyway, I remember him seeing, you know, it just had this shirt and it was Zero, and I think it had a star on it or something, and you know, and he was like, he was doing it, and I was trying to figure out, what is he doing? I couldn't understand what was happening, you know, but I was watching, I knew he was doing something, you know, and then it just, you know, it happened, and he started Zero skateboards from that, you know, and all that stuff, and it's cool, man. It's like, yeah, those are, but yeah, back to the question, sorry, I don't know how I got to where I was there, but yeah, nah, man, no regrets at all, nothing, man, never, no way.